Good morning.
Happy Easter.
Did you get lots of eggs?
Yeah, Kate got me an egg. I did. I dropped a bollock and didn't buy her an egg.
I didn't buy mine an egg either.
So I got her a different kind of present.
Happy days. We'll leave that there.
I think she was happy. Right, let's get through the intro and we'll wander you around this nightmare.
Let's do it.
Oi oi,
We're back.
we are back. Not much has happened, just stuff's turned up. So rather than bore you with what's going on, I'll just point at stuff and shout, so you haven't got to move the camera too much. Lambo Gallardo's turned up, and it's a non-start.
Oh dear.
So we'll sort that out. The RS6 is from Ireland, and the dealer swapped a damper, and now the car makes an awful noise and doesn't handle right.
Oh.
I got two cars here that were in a big rush to get done. So we got them done and nobody's picked them up. So, typical. The Golf's ready. I just need to sell the bloody thing. Rob Malik's, we're waiting on a trim, and I got to keep testing it to make sure that the throttle pedal's doing what it should. Graham Tricker's coming in this afternoon so we can finish that off. Jordan's got an Alpine. Yeah. Chris Camry's, we've got a suspension issue. Graham Tricker's got to come back in for more work. The McLaren, I can't get it to fault, now I'll flash it back to stock. This one is loads of stuff where the drive shaft come loose and smashed everything to bits. That one needs oil pumps leak doing, and it's got misfires and stuff, so he's finally authorised that so we can get cracking. We got a TTRS at the front for timing chains. We've had an S6 turn up for prop bearing and an air leak.
That Tesla is not yours.
Jordan's just done Tesla, so that's going today. Let me turn the music off.
And head inside.
So the white one behind you, someone screwed up the oil pump drain plugs. And did a really bad job, so we're in the middle of taking the oil pump out of that to fix it. We got to change a chamber on the oil pump, so we'll get that sorted. Carl's on with the GT, so that's service. The tank for the height lift had a crack in it, so we're changing that. Heater valve and a few other bits and pieces. Ready for John to enjoy that.
Good morning, sir.
Matt's doing John's, so that's suspension, brakes, service, and that's about it, I think. And dampers, yeah, suspension all round. And he went to Nurburgring at the weekend.
What, again?
Yeah, done the... What did you do?
What time?
No. What time did you do?
Like mid 7 minutes now.
Did you?
Yeah, flying. So
Happy days.
Good.
In someone else's car?
In someone else's car, even better. Yeah,
Living a dream.
Yeah, GTR this time. It was good.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, overtaking everyone at 160 mile an hour. That's all good fun. So, yeah, it's wicked. I love it.
We'll be there soon.
Yeah, not long now. So.
September, it's months away, man. Stop wishing a year.
Well, I'll be back before. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's all good. So.
It was busy, wasn't it, you said?
Yeah, it's Car Friday, busiest weekend of the year. So, yeah, it was good though.
3 hours to get off track.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't get off track. Just stay on track.
Stay on. Yeah.
Clip this back on. The heads are back on the McLaren. I'm having to modify some shims because McLaren only go to 2.4 mil thinnest on the shims, and we need smaller shims than that.
Always the way.
Always the way, because of course we've cut the seats, so it's just a bit of a mess around. But we'll figure it out. We'll sort it. Skyline, I've done nothing more on because we're waiting on JDM Garage to send up a clutch pedal and the template for the slave cylinder. So that's we're stuck there at the minute now, waiting for them to get that done. So
if anybody has got a manual R33 GTST with engine out,
well, I just need a template for clutch cylinder. I messaged SR Auto Bodies. and they said they'll try and help. But yeah, it's that and a clutch pedal now that's holding us up. Once I've got that, I can put the engine back in, but it's just taking a lot longer than I first anticipated.
I'm going to do some digging on that today and see if we can expedite it.
Yeah, because then I can put it. It was running car. It's like it's not waiting on anything else.
Yeah.
This one, you've already seen the inside of a rusty fuel tank, and that video absolutely tanked. We get it. So
nice, eh?
I didn't do another one, but we've had the fuel. I've had the fuel tank out. Sorry, I've had the fuel pump out, and it was all right, to be fair. Give it a little clean up, cleaned the bottom of the tank, drained it completely, cleaned the bottom of the tank, and just put it back together. So I'm waiting on the O-ring underneath, and I think I threw the bolts, but the new bolts, waiting on those. There was no point doing another bloody video on it because the first video on a Skyline did nothing. So,
but having said that, this has gone down quite well.
The video has, yeah, has gone down quite well, to be fair. So
people like a 300ZX, it seems.
So we won't really do too much more. I've taken some videos of the sills and sent them to a friend who thinks he can get them welded, because that's the structural side. I'm waiting on a cam belt and tensioner to turn up, and we'll basically do belts and fluids. And once we've done belts and fluids and gone over it front to back mechanically, bleed the brakes, that sort of thing, we'll just take it as it is down to MOT, and I'll just put it into MOT like it is, and we'll see what it does.
Yes.
I don't want to run it too much at the minute. Like, we've driven it, like it starts now. Now I've changed the fuel, it starts mint. Well, yeah. This is where the cam belt goes.
Oh,
so
she purrs.
Yeah, it purrs like a kitten. So we'll do cam belt, water pump, the little hoses in behind, thermostat, fluids, auxiliary belts. What else did I order? I ordered a genuine gear knob because it's got a stupid one on. And then I've got like sort of rear view mirror out and probably put some wiper blades on it and that sort of thing. Strip and clean the brakes just to make sure they're good. I don't know what tyres we like. But like I didn't know they were MAHA alloy wheels and they're sided.
Are they?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, wow. I think there's been some good info from in the comments about these.
Loads.
People that know
loads.
more than we do about
So it is cool. Yeah, I like it.
We need to get it driven. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I do want to drive it. I like it more than the Skyline. That's not going to go down well.
So do I.
Yeah, I like it more than the Skyline.
Maybe we should take it to the Japanese show at Coombe.
Like it is.
JDM Coombe,
yeah. Take our 2 JDM cars when we don't do JDM stuff. But it'd be interesting to know what people think between the two of them. Because this is more powerful, I think, isn't it?
So this is 300.
Yeah.
And
240?
wasn't that 240, 250?
It's more, what's that, stock? 240? The stock, 240 power. Yeah, so this is more powerful.
Come closer so we can hear you.
300, I thought. Yeah.
This is 300, just under 300.
I think these are more powerful stock, but when you start tuning them in the Skyline,
yeah, RBs, aren't they?
Way better.
Yeah. Although people do silly power out of VGs.
Yeah, it just wasn't as popular as the
Which one do you prefer?
Skyline.
Yeah. Matt, which one do you prefer?
I like the look of this, but
Skyline or? Well, what about right now? Yeah.
we should put the RB25 in this.
Oh! Look at his face.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Because this looks better, doesn't it?
What I want to do is put everything into a 600 LT.
Sell everything.
Sell everything. Everything is for sale. We need a blown up 600 LT. Someone sent me a Facebook link to a 650S that was crashed, but it's done the tub. No, thank you. I'll have a blown up one, but I don't want to get into carbon fibre repairs.
Tubs?
Yeah. Hello, tubs.
Mechanical damage.
Yeah. I like it. Just Jap stuff rusts.
Yep. So, even when it's dry stored.
Yeah. It's not shocking, but yeah, there's a few little bits. It's gone the other side under here. It's gone under the tailgate. Yep. But this is rubber.
Rubber.
It's a rubber wing.
Rubber
And
wing.
the reason it goes mottled is because it absorbs all the water.
Ah, porous rubber.
It's a porous rubber wing. Yeah. So I need to take it off. So you can buy fiberglass versions of this basically. So you need to take it off. So that whole lip there that you see.
Yep.
Because it has. This is the. Look, can you see it start to go there?
Oh, yes.
So
It's a little bit brittle.
yeah, brittle, but there's some studs there. I don't know how you even get it off.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way. God will find a way. So that'll be all right. What else has gone on? Not a lot really. It was Easter, so we had a slow week last week and a slow week this week. Got a bike on a ramp, a few little jobs before we go to Cadwell.
When you're at Cadwell, dude?
I go a week Thursday.
Okay. I'm starting to think maybe, I know it can be difficult because you'll be in race mode,
Yeah.
but it could make a good video.
Lots of people have
following.
said of doing a video. Yeah, like if you're going to do it, I think you'd have to do Coombe.
Yep.
Lots of people have said about me trying to do it, but it is hard to keep your head in the game
Yeah.
and film. But Coombe would be good because obviously it's just down the road from you, so I think that's middle of the year. So we could have a look at that.
Maybe try and do that. Obviously,
Yeah,
we can't
we'll
put
try.
GoPros on bikes and things. That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I can try and hide a camera on a bike and stuff to show you in race, so that's all right. But
Cool.
yeah,
Anything in the engine room of dreams?
no, engine room, not much progress. Still trying to find Murcielago rod bolts, which is being a nightmare. But it's all right, we get to the bottom of it. We got Carrillo and a few other places looking into us because the bolt locates the cap. There's no pin or dowel. There's a shank on the bolt, and that's what locates the cap onto the rod. So it's just being a little bit of a bugger.
Yes.
I'm going to sit in my ZX and do this next bit.
Happy days.
I know.
Right. You
We have some.
get yourself sat in there, all comfortable like.
Can I take my Targa off?
Yeah, take your Targa off.
So which one do we think, to the audience at home, is more popular, the ZX or the Skyline?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I know, because obviously this is more powerful, so you'd think this one would be faster. 180 on a clock. I know. This one will be finished first, because I'm just waiting forever for a clutch pedal for that. And what is the most desirable? So they think the Skyline's more desirable. I think this is more niche. It's got Lambo lights.
It's the best part of it.
It's the best part of it. It's the most unreliable part of it. It's Italian lights.
Probably sell them for more than the car.
You turn them on,
you find
everything
a
gets
Diablo in
darker, the way the Italian stuff works.
It's the other way, isn't it?
What?
They were made under license. Nissan made them for.
Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I googled it earlier.
So this car is probably cheaper than going to Lambo to buy a set of lights from Murcielago.
Yeah.
Murcielago or Diablo?
Diablo.
Diablo. Oh. I don't know. What do you think? Why am I asking you now? You've given your microphone away. Yeah.
I think there's a small group of people that really like these.
Yeah,
but in
Zed
general,
owners.
the Skyline is just,
Everybody
to the
loves
masses,
them.
the Skyline
Big
is
audience.
way more popular.
I know. I like it.
We'll need to have a race between them when they're both finished.
They won't be both finished, mate. That is the problem.
Well, they can both race the Noble.
Yeah, that will never be finished.
everything there to look at.
Yeah.
Honda.
Honda. You and Carl are Honda friends now.
All the
Both got
Japanese
red
Hondas.
Hondas. Both got red Hondas. Which one do you prefer, this one or that one?
That one.
Right. They're all idiots.
Just you then, Rick.
Yeah. I'm the weirdo. Magnesium wheels, mate.
What on this?
Yeah. They're mag wheels.
Where? In Mount.
Yeah, they catch fire. Yeah. And they're sided, apparently.
Huh.
You get left wheels and right wheels. So my spare wheel can only go on one side.
Swap them all around.
But, right. Question time. What have we got? Ickle Ginge. That is genuinely the name. Liking the new wheels, and I'm hoping for an OEM plus refresh. On your next project, I saw another Tubers video, Rob Darm, and thought this is a bit of Rick. Motorbike-based radical track car. Have you ever crossed paths with any radicals? Could this sway you one day in removing a rust pile in your workshop? Yes, done some stuff with radicals. Obviously, we got a video of us going around Coombe in a radical. So that's the PowerTech V8 though. So that's a V8 with a pair of Hayabusa heads. We had spoken about radicals, about getting one, but the problem is you end up dropping 50 grand on a car and parking it in a corner and using it 3 times a year on track days. And lots of tracks now won't let you run radicals. You can only race them because they're so fast in the corners. Lots of track day companies won't let you run radicals. So I had thought about it and didn't get one. And to be honest, if I'm going to do a motorbike based car, I would just get a motorbike. I don't see the point in. But it's going to be rubbish, isn't it? It's going to be rubbish. Because if it's a motorbike engine in a motorbike, it's instantly going to be faster than a motorbike engine in a car.
Yeah. I would like an old Mini with a...
Well, you started to build that, didn't you? And then you sold it.
They put bike engines in.
Yeah. No, if I was going to do anything Rob Dahm-esque, it'd be an RX-7. Because I think that's probably my favourite Jap car.
So we need one of those next then.
Oh, no, we don't. 600T. Or a 190 Cosy. We should have got that one on bloody collecting cars, shouldn't we? That was a baller car. I do like those. I don't even know what that is. That is like he was drunk and fell on his keyboard when he wrote this username.
One less follower.
L Lort BKWRDS dumb something backwards.
It's Mitch.
What? It is, it's backwards. No, it is. It's, what is it? Troll backwards dumb fuck. It is. Fuck dumb backwards troll.
It's like the countdown conundrum.
Honestly, it is. Basically, if you break his username down, there's troll backwards dumb and fuck.
You got to watch the F-bomb. Somebody commented about that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What? I don't do enough, or I do too many?
Apparently, you're better than that.
Is
he fuck?
Yeah. Rick, what's your feelings on Liberty acquiring MotoGP? Quality content as always. So, in other news, Liberty Media, who own F1, have bought MotoGP, and I'm pretty sure they're more because Dorna own World Superbikes. Vis-a-vis, they get World Superbikes as well. At the minute, I have no idea. Xpel, or whatever his name is, who's the managing director of Dorna, is 1 million years old, so he's probably cashed out. What that means for the future, I have no idea because I don't know. The only positive thing I can see out of F1 at the minute is the Netflix Drive to Survive, because I would say that's probably the biggest audience driver I've seen for a sport in a long time. I think having something like that in MotoGP or Supercross, I think would be mega, would give you just a different insight. Because when you look at Amazon did them series with like football clubs as well, and they did American football team.
They've done NASCAR as well.
Yeah, what?
Netflix.
The Netflix lot have.
Just done
have they?
NASCAR one.
All right, okay. So if they allow something like that in, that's good. But I don't see that much will change in a big way, if I'm honest. But they'll probably just allow more aero. Oh boy, 2118, nice car. Will a certain Mr. Day be painting this? That's up to Josh, because obviously his workshop's built around doing bikes. So whether Josh wants to paint this or not, that is up to Josh. But yeah, he'd probably be my first choice. EA Loken, what is your favourite 1890s car within a normal budget? There is no normal budget on Jap stuff because, well, I got owners selling R34s for £250,000, so, and that's an 80s, 90s car. What was your favourite 1890s car? That is hard. Probably a 190 Cosworth.
You've got a soft spot for those, haven't you?
I do like a 190. Yeah, it's the first car I nearly died in. I was an apprentice, and Phil, who worked at Mercedes with me, he was the old boy I worked with, beat the shit out of me. Spun it round and roundabout. But it had dogleg first. It was like a proper touring car. I would never get an Evo because they're silly money now, aren't they?
They're crazy money, yeah.
But I would like a 190 Cosworth or RX-7. What are you going for?
Sorry, Ford probably, isn't it?
Would you have a Ford? Would you?
Yeah, I'm a 90s baby, aren't I?
I'd still love an Escort Cosworth.
Yeah.
What, like the proper whale tail one?
The original small turbo one. Like the original big turbo one. Big turbo was the original, wasn't it? I saw an Imperial Blue one in London when it first came out. Back, was it 92?
If I was going to have a Cosy, like that kind of Cosy, it'd be a proper Sierra,
Oh, yeah. That's
not a Safi.
Yeah, you'd have
Like
an RS 500.
That shape wouldn't have to be an RS 500, but that shape with the headlights behind like the front trim. What are you having? Well, you're not a 90s baby, are you?
Yeah, I'd Mark IV Supra if I could.
Right, okay.
Aero top,
Yeah.
Fair play.
6-speed manual, single
And-
turbo.
Carl doesn't care about us enough to be here, so he doesn't get an answer.
He's actually doing some work.
Yeah. Thomas McBride, very informative as always. I think he must be on about this video. Sorry I missed your live gig. Where can I watch it back on? We will put it on YouTube because we filmed it all. Dav's just got to go through 2.5 hours of nonsense and condense it down into something viewable. And then we'll just put it up on YouTube. We don't know yet whether we're going to do it as an extra, do we?
I think we'll do it as an extra, and then we'll look at doing it as a podcast somewhere,
Yeah. So
wherever we upload that.
that'll kind of work. Ed2391. Hi Rick, as you touched on dealerships, I've worked in them for 13 years and the quality of work in them is so poor now. What's your take on their decline? Also, do you service cars that are in warranty and do dealers try and knock back an engine claim, for example, if they've not been serviced by a dealer? Right, two things, because the last point of that question, we get asked a lot. So block exemption is a set of laws that allow you to take your car anywhere you want to have it serviced, and warranty have to uphold, the manufacturer has to uphold the warranty, providing it is done to manufacturing guidelines and genuine parts are used. So they can't decline your warranty for servicing work done outside the network. They just might make the hurdles very high in what you go through, which is why we do service sheets, which is why we're Audi independent. We can put it on digital service book. We always use genuine parts. So that's how we sort of get through that. I can't imagine, unless you do something silly like leave a drain plug out, I can't see how servicing would affect an engine failure or a drivetrain failure. So normally, no, warranties wouldn't have any effect on that. Where it would is if, say, you put an exhaust on your car and we'd had the bumper off, done the exhaust, put it all back together, and then say there was damage on, say, an exhaust, or an exhaust tip failed, or there was an issue with the exhaust, they could turn around and say, oh, because of the work that's been done, that's affected, that's a consequential effect of the part. So you could jump through that, but to be fair, even then, they're clutching at straws. So it's just, yeah, I mean, we don't have any problems because obviously I know the lads at Swindon Audi. We work with Lamborghini Pangborn really close. We work with Birmingham McLaren really close. So we just send clients to those dealers really. So it's pretty good. Like you came from Ferrari. So yeah, I don't think you'd have too many problems. With regards to dealerships now and the quality of working dealers, the problem you've got now is one, you've got people coming into the trade who maybe aren't too switched on, and it's almost like gone back to like a YTS days, whereas when you came out of school in the 80s, my phone's going to ring, turn that off. When you came out of school in the 80s and you got no grades, you were taught you were either a builder or a mechanic, weren't you? You kind of fell into that. And it changed quick, like all the electronics now. So I would say you either attract in idiots into the trade, no one really wants to do a good job, or the other problem is you're basically emasculated by the manufacturer into thinking for yourself. You've got to follow a process on a computer, and when the computer says no, you've then got to go to the manufacturer. So I've been on both sides of that. I've been in a dealer and I've been at technical, where you'd have people message you going, oh, I've got a misfire, and the computer says random multiple misfire, what do I do now? Because they're never taught in a dealer how to fault find. They just go to technical, and technical go, oh, change the plugs, change the coils, do a compression test. So you have to jump through the hoops behind the computer, because that's the only way you get warranty to pay you money. So warranty will need basically the time clocked out by the diagnosis machine to tell you how much claim money you basically get. So that's the biggest problem. But I would say dealers don't help themselves, regardless of what goes on in the workshop. With what comes out of the customer's mouth to what gets to the technician, and then what leaves the technician's mouth to what gets to the customer is honestly is like Chinese whispers, which is why here, the customers who come in or clients who come in, the guys will show them around the problems on their car, so they see it firsthand for themselves, and you don't get that in a dealer. You might get in some dealers, I'm not blanketing all of them, but a lot of it is they're just fed bullshit by service advisors, basically. Or they haven't got a clue what they're saying and they just make it up as they go along. So that's the problem. Dealers, there's so many issues in dealers that range from dealer to dealer that I wouldn't even say it's one thing. It's just 9 times out of 10, it's bad communication. Because I've got friends in dealers who are bloody smarter than me and they just work in a crap dealer and that's it. But Neil Bave 7752, really good video, so open and honest, makes a change from some other channels. Would be interesting to have a real world cost for a 1, 2 and 4 year service ballpark. Is it 3, 5, 800 for a 1 year service? Okay, so really then you kind of go, an oil change service is roughly 400 to 500 quid on a Lambo R8 or McLaren. A 2 year service, which is a pollen filter and brake fluid, you're probably talking 700 to 800 quid. And then a 4 year service, if it's all done at the same time, which would be spark plugs, air filters, fuel filter, front diff, Haldex, transmission, engine oil, pollen filter, brake fluid, is about 2 grand. Those are sort of like, they vary model to model depending on what's what. But I would sort of say if you work to that, then you're probably not too bad. Dusty Jacks. Do you find the Spiders are more of a pain to work on than the Coupes with the way the engine access works? I think we've answered this, but no. By the time you get the cover off, it's easier, basically. It's a bit of a fiddle to get in around the rear roof slats. But once you've got the cover off the top, like doing spark plugs is so much easier on a Spider than it is a Coupe, because obviously a Coupe, you've got the rear wings coming up. But it's getting the rear engine panel off, and on like a Hurricane, that'll take you an hour on its own. So swings and roundabouts, mate. Yes, pain in the ass to get the cover off, but when you've got the cover off, it's easier. The hard bit is if you've got to take an engine out, the roof's got to come off first. Or if you've got to do fuel pumps, you've got to take the complete roof assembly off. So on a Coupe, it'll take you 2 hours to do a fuel pump. On a Spider, it'll take you 30. So,
wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So swings and roundabouts. Vlog72, question time. What's your thoughts on Rossi racing in World Endurance? Ever since he was racing bikes, 15 years ago, he was in cars. He's won Italian rallies. He's raced against McRae. He obviously drove Schumacher's Ferrari and got within a second of Schumacher's time. Racers want to race. So he's a massive draw for the sport. He's a massive draw for BMW because obviously he's in BMW now. He's running with top lads as well. You know, boy can pedal. So Rossi's the GOAT, man. I mean, he could race a milk float, and I'd want to watch it.
You'd want to watch it, yeah.
RSV Dan, random one. Is that the same Graham Hardy that used to ride BMX at Worcester ramps back in the day? It is, mate. Graham was a professional BMXer, which is why he talks nonsense, because he has a brain injury. No, he doesn't. I think he was good. He keeps showing us videos of photos of him back in the day, because he worked for BMX magazines and toured the world BMXing and stuff. So
he used to hang out with Dirty Sanchez as well.
Yeah,
those guys.
Yeah. So yeah, G's all right. Andy Begbie. Rossi didn't have this problem, LOL. How much importance do you put on your tyre temps when you're racing? Do you check them a lot, or old school, out the warmers and race? Do you have a tyre temp gauge? All of the above. Massive importance on tyre temp. So depending on whether we're slicks, inters or wets, we run different temperatures. And then when you run different temperatures, your working pressure is different. We check them all the time. Like if you put a cold tyre on and then leave it on the warmers for an hour, it'll rise like 10 psi. And if you pull it off the warmers, I don't know, 10 degrees under, and you go out, you change it 4 psi on track. So yeah, we put a lot of emphasis on tyre pressures and tyre temperatures. We do check with a tyre temp gauge, mainly to make sure that what the tyre warmer is telling you is right. But yeah, super critical, like how many heat cycles a tyre goes through, how you bring the tyre up to temperature, what you do when it's at temperature, how many times you use it, how many times it goes out on track, how you scrub it in. So yeah, it's at club racing, it's maybe I wouldn't say less important, but it's probably a little bit less focused on. But when you get to British level, yeah, it's all, the attention to detail is unreal on tyres. So yeah, it's huge. And then we've done the Skyline and the ZX bit. So yes, and then the last little bit we speak about this a lot, don't we, is whether YouTube is worth it.
Oh, there's the $1 million question.
Yeah. And we never really got into it. I didn't want to put Al on the spot at his live, at a live podcast, but me and you bang our heads against a brick wall, don't we, trying to work this out?
We do.
Now, we started doing YouTube to show off, essentially, or show what we could do. It was never an entertainment thing for us. It was just, oh, well, it's a good platform to say, show our engine build, show our gearbox build, show the cars we work on. And it's kind of morphed over, must be 3 years now.
It is. Yeah.
To doing 2 videos a week, you know. And we used to do, well, we still do technical stuff. It's just, it's quite hard to stage because, of course, you don't work here all week long, do you? So you've got other clients you look after as well. So if I say, right, let's take this engine out of this car and it takes 2 days, it's hard for you to be stood around with a camera for 2 days trying to catch it. So it's maybe something we need to try and do with GoPros and stuff.
Again, excuse me, on the flip side, you know, you're in the zone building these engines and you don't want to be distracted by doing that sometimes as well.
No, my golf. We filmed time in the golf up, didn't we? And I've set it up. I put a crank pulley on and we were messing around trying to show on video what happened, and I let the timing sprocket slip a tooth and I put it back on, I put it together, and it wasn't until we got the engine back in the car and running I had a timing fault and I was like half a tooth out. Because they sit on those bloody Mark 7, Mark 8 engines, the cam chain gear sprocket and then the crank pulley sits on, they're not teeth, they're more like dimples, and they literally just rest into each other. Then you've got to put a crank pulley bolt on, it's like 200 odd Newton meters, and I'd let it sit up so that it hadn't engaged in the dimples, it had sat up slightly because the chain had pulled on it, and I tightened it up. And I didn't damage anything, I was lucky, but that was down to me not paying attention, or me not double checking my work as well. We'd filmed a video had gone out, and then, yeah. So it's easy to make mistakes anyway without this.
It's a different situation that, you know, for example, somebody like Matt Armstrong, if he makes a mistake, it's good content, and he goes, oh, I messed up. Excuse me, this is what I did wrong. But with you're working on a customer's car.
Yeah, if I cock up and I give it back to the customer, go, oh, sorry, mate, I've messed up on your car. It's like, it's not appreciated. It's not expected. Mistakes are sort of like a big no almost. Well, they are, yeah. I think some people would take it as lack of skill when there's mistakes.
Sure.
But everybody makes mistakes. That's how you learn. This is why sometimes I'll turn around to clients when they ring to do a project and they'll say, I'm not willing to do the project because I don't want to learn on your car. You know, I bought engines to learn building McLaren engines. I bought V10 engines to learn about doing R8 stuff when we came here to do high-powered stuff. But I already knew them engines inside out from back in manufacture days anyway. So we started doing the technical stuff to show engine builds, and we were doing like bottom end guides and top end guides, and they never really, I think it was niche, wasn't it? That sort of stuff is very, very niche. There is a balance of entertainment with it. And then we started almost doing like the workshop walkarounds, and they did well, didn't they? They sort of showing off what was going on. And then just to absolutely, then the questions, they will go in. And then a complete curveball is, like the ranty thing we do now seems to be the most popular, doesn't it? Like if we go to...
Have a look at the stats.
Yeah. Like I'll be completely honest, right? I mean, I won't disclose what we pay you, because obviously Dav is an employee, he's paid, so I won't discuss that. But I mean, you look now, right? I've done, in the last 28 days, this is the analytics. So we got 32,243 subscribers. In the last 28 days, I've done 252,600 views, which is a watch time of 50,000 hours, 50,700 hours, and my estimated revenue is 1,500 quid. So it's not worth, you look at it sometimes, you go, it's not worth it, is it?
If you look at the black and white facts on paper, no.
Because what do you reckon it'll take us today? 3 hours today?
Easily that.
So 3 hours today. If we do a technical video tomorrow, right? So let's work it out. Technical videos, let's be kind then. Let's say 2 hours today and 4 hours tomorrow. So that's 6 hours a week, right? And let's just say it's 4 weeks. So that's 24 hours. 24 hours a month to do YouTube without your editing or without, this is just my time.
Your short time, yeah. And
we charge £125 an hour plus that. Well, I could make twice the money just doing normal work by selling my hours to do normal work. That's probably being very, very kind on what we do hours-wise as well.
Sure.
Then there's the equipment. So we were talking about buying a new camera for the live podcast, weren't they? You've just bought new microphones.
That's it.
You know, your lens is just eating itself.
Yeah.
And then you sit here and you go through like the views. If I go back to content, right? So we thought the ZX was going to tank, didn't we?
We did.
And that's our most watched video. Cannot figure it out, mate. So you go a 300 ZX is our most in the so that YouTube do it on time. So in the first 3 days and 18 hours the video's been up, this is out of all our videos, it's number one. So it's done the best in the first 4 days. It's done 23,400 views, right? Then why car warranties are useless, 19,000 views. Lamborghini Huracan buyer's guide, faults and problems, 13,000 views. Calling out street racers on YouTube, 15,000 views. How to do a fuel system on a Skyline. So we rebuilt the fuel pump, the level sender, put the tank back together, 8,000 views. Why electric cars aren't the answer, 16,000 views. What killed this Audi RS3, 19,000 views. The end of the tuning industry, 21,000 views. Why F1 style aero is killing MotoGP, 65,000 views.
Wow, that's the one.
Coops talking about a sheep, 25,000 views. We've sat here, but then you go the RSQ3. Is an RS3 the best all-rounder for 50 grand, 11,000 views? Trying to convert an auto Skyline to manual, 10,000 views. I can't figure it out, mate. I can't figure it out. And then me and you sit there and we go, why do we bother? What is it we're trying to do? What do people want to watch? Because it takes a lot of our effort. It takes a lot of our effort. And you ask 10 people what they want to see and you get 10 different answers.
You do.
So then me and you try and go back to, well, what do we enjoy doing? But the honest answer to that is when we've tried to do what we've enjoyed doing, it's absolutely just gone nowhere.
Your bike, hot laps with the onboard camera.
Oh, yeah. Like how much did... Well, all right, they did the Castle Combe track day stuff as well, didn't they? But I think we paid like £1,000 for them for a day to do all the media on the day, to do all the videos. That was customer stuff as well. And then we put them cameras all around Castle Combe. We put cameras on the bike. Mate, it's like 6 views. And those are all me. And I could not figure out why that did so bad. Because that video is like, there was cameras in places that they've never been shown before around Combe, is there? And that absolutely tanked. Do you know what I mean? You come in one day and I was like, Dav, I got nothing for you, mate. I don't know what we're going to film. And you said, oh, let's put that RS6 on the dyno. And it went mental, didn't it?
It did.
So I don't know how YouTube fits.
I mean, in the comments, the good comments are always things like, you come across as somebody who, this is you. You are like this. This isn't an act.
No,
you
not
speak
at all.
as you find.
Yeah,
and
not at all.
if somebody came to the workshop, it is like YouTube,
Yeah.
effectively. All right. Not so much banter all the time, perhaps.
No, I mean, sometimes it's serious, but do you know what I mean? But this is it. We have a laugh at, the conversations we get into are just general workshop chit-chat stuff, and maybe that's what people want to see. I have to be very careful in that, in the same way that my kids do when they're on social media. You get wrapped up in the numbers. So you watch these YouTubers that come out who don't run businesses, and they make their channels do this, that, and the other. They pay people to be guests on their podcasts, or they have money sat around from where they can do things, they can buy things. They don't have businesses to run. They don't have families. They can go out. I mean, you've got to be fair. We mention him a lot, but we've known Matt since he had 50,000-60,000 subs.
Absolutely.
And Matt is the same now as he was then. He's just, I think Matt struggles with imposter syndrome because he can't believe how big it is.
It's insane when you look at it. Yeah, it must be hard to get your head around it in that situation.
Because ultimately, the majority of people would struggle with, and it's the thing I struggle with, is we make a product, me and you, we give it away for free, and it could be worthless, nobody ever watches it, or it could make us £1 million. And that baffles me. That absolutely baffles me. Because I have an hour of my life and I sell it to you for a price. And that's how I make my money. And even then, I sometimes struggle with that sometimes, especially like as you get older, when you go, your time is all you have. Do you know what I mean? We're sat here chatting crap now and I'm 3 minutes closer to dying.
Now we're getting deep, and this is true.
But do you know what I mean? So when you sit there and you go, right, okay, so I struggle with sometimes getting hooked, getting caught up in the popularity contest, and I really have to pull myself away from it because you're like, oh, it hasn't done this, it hasn't done that, it's not doing this, it hasn't. Forget the money side. When we went to 2 videos a month, we just about got it to a place to cover your one, because you were 1 day a week essentially, weren't you? And when we were doing 1 video a week, we just about got it to a place to cover, to wipe his nose. It would cover Dav's rate basically for the month. And then we went to 2 videos. So I took that decision as a business to go, 2 videos, we'll do the update and we'll do a technical. And we're still now, how long have we been doing 2 a week? Yeah?
I think we're up to update 57,
okay,
58, so over a year.
And we're still at a place where it's not paying for itself. It moves, but it's so liquid, it's so fluid. Like Christmas, it did, didn't it? Christmas was above.
It was.
But because it's on a rolling 28 days, what it says is not what you get. So am I happy paying this every month to have basically I'm paying for a YouTube channel.
On the flip side though, how much extra client work has it brought in? Because that is effectively part of your marketing budget perhaps.
Yeah.
You could look at it that way.
Yeah, all right, we've sponsored Castle Combe and we've sponsored Swindon Town Football Club. So those are things as well that we do to try and advertise what we do. Combe is obviously, we've got a good relationship. I know Max really well down there, and he probably got it across the line, if I'm honest. If Max wasn't there, would the conversation have happened? I don't know. Max was very proactive. He put together a good package for us, and they got it across the line. So I'm happy with that. What we've got, I'm happy with. Swindon Town, my boys have played for Swindon Town since Cal was little. So, that opportunity came up a couple of weeks back and we've done that. So we've got a sign up in the county ground and we got a sign up at Folly. So again, there is advertising. But then this is the other side of it as well. We're booking for start of May. So if you ring me up today, and I lost one this morning, and he rung up, he's got an RS3, he's got a noise coming from the back, all right, not the normal sort of product we would be working on, but he's like, can you look at my car? He goes, I'm desperate. I'm like, mate, I can't look at it till May. Oh. So I've lost him straight away. So if YouTube has attracted him, not saying it is, but if YouTube's attracted him, I've straight away lost him because we're so far out. And if I'm honest, it's probably May's probably too soon anyway, start of May, because we've got so much big stuff. Do you know what I mean? I could probably do with taking someone else on, but it's hard to find people. So then I'm spending money on an advertising budget to build up work that I can't get booked in the first place.
Ah, yeah.
And I would say the downside of it is, the worst side of it is, I probably get 20, 30 phone calls a day. Seen you on YouTube, just ringing up some advice. Seen you on YouTube, just ringing up some advice. Seen you on YouTube, just ringing up some advice. And I get that off businesses as well as people, all of it. And it is flattering, but it takes time. And that time I'm giving away for free, essentially, is time I could spend looking after my clients who are here now. So I don't know. I don't know how to make it bigger. I'm not sat here wanting to be a YouTuber. I'm not sat here for that. But I don't understand how to make it, one, pay for itself. Because if it paid for itself, I'd just basically employ you full time. That's your job, Dav.
Do that.
Do you know what I mean? You need me every now and again, and you could follow the guys around with cameras. We could create more content. But we're definitely not in that position. Like I said, we have you 2 days a week at the minute, and it doesn't pay for that. So I don't know what the answer is with it. I don't know what the future is. Yeah, it's great. People enjoy it. But
there may come a time where we just go, we need to draw a line under this, and we're going to do something. We're going to stop for a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Because essentially the Skyline was, and this really, there is part of my decision making that is based on YouTube. The Noble. So I've bought a rust bucket that has sat there for 2 years off the back of motivated by a YouTube decision. I would say I'm primarily motivated from the financial aspect. All three of these cars, well, I can't make money on a Noble, but I'll build that for me. That's why it's kind of taken a back burner at the minute, because I'm collecting parts. But the Skyline and this, I'll get sorted and I'll make money off. The Golf, I'll make money off. The RS4, I'll make money off. And like I said, there is method in my madness. But again, it's hard to find the time to get the projects done because I need the boys working on cars to get customers' cars done. So I could employ someone full time just do project work. And I don't know, maybe that's an answer, but I don't know whether we're trying to flog a dead horse with the YouTube thing. And I don't know whether people are that honest about it. Do you know what I mean? Is that what we need to do? Do we need to come out with clickbait bollocks to make it watched, to make it pay for itself, to have a vanity thing? Is that what YouTube is? Is this my ego? Do you know what I mean? Ego is a killer of all big business because people can't let go of it when it's going wrong. So is this it? Is this? Do I need to? Yeah. Do I need to stop it? Do I need to take?
I think let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
and people will, because they are very forthcoming with their opinions.
Yeah, and we have got we had Captain Pugwash, his name was. He drove all the way down from Preston to come to a podcast, didn't he?
Fair play to that man.
So we have got people who
they're invested in the channel.
Yeah, they're invested in it. But I don't do it for. I do it for fun. But at some point, I've got to sit there and go, "Am I flogging a dead horse here?" Do you know what I mean? There's money every month that I'm spending to put something on YouTube that isn't watched. It is watched, but do you know what I mean? In the grand scheme of things, what did you say Matt's Rashford video did?
2.1 million in 15 hours.
I don't think have we had 2 million views? Yeah, we must have had, haven't we? Have we had 2 million views yet?
Overall?
What are we up to?
Must be.
Now, I'm not saying I want to get anywhere near that. And again, I'm using my mate's channel as an example, which is probably a bad one. But his Spanish channel the other day has got 100,000 views. Do you know what I mean? There's other guys out there that have absolutely copied what he does, to the T copied what he does. And it's gone, they've gone mental. 100,000 views, 150,000 views. What is it? View channel. It's about, innit? If I go to the end.
Maybe it's the host.
Yeah, mate, honestly.
Sack the host.
Me and Carl take over the channel for the day.
Technician takeover.
There we go. There we go. 4.44 million views we've had. Or all our videos.
Which sounds mad when you think about it.
From, all right, we weren't doing that. January 2016, 4.4 million views.
And he's doing that in 2.
Well, he did it in 20 hours, in 2 videos. Yeah.
That's it then.
But that's it.
Turn it off.
But then look at it that way, right? All right. We know his story. We know where he came from. We know what he does, and there is costs to his business now, right? So when you sit there and you go, right, it takes a unit. Obviously, the parts you get back when you sell a car, blah 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 blah. But you think the car is the set. People completely miss that point. So whether it's a 10 grand 140i he buys, or what do you spend on this bloody Rolls?
160.
Right.
Which is cheap. Obviously, it's destroyed, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the set. That's the that's what he needs to make his product, to make his video in, to make his product on. But now, you think 2 million. What would you need to go on a telly as? What gets 2 million views live on a telly now? Nothing.
No, it would be like
FA Cup final.
Top Gear or something. Wouldn't be,
I don't even think they would do 2 million views live.
No.
So you think when you're at that level, what you can draw then, the business opportunity it offers is massive. But then when you start coming down and down and down, and you've got these channels 30, 40, 50, 60, I know the numbers they're doing, right? And unless you're following people around with a camera yourself, when you're paying cameras and you're paying people to edit and you're paying this, it ain't making any fucking money. It isn't making money. So it's ego. And that's what I'm struggling with at the minute. Am I bailing water out of a sinking ship because of my ego? Would I be better off going, we're done? We go back to what me and you started doing in the first place, which was social media and little bits and pieces like that. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
And sacking this off. And the only reason me and you do this every week is because popularity contest, because of ego. Because I tell my boys all the time, don't worry about social media. Don't worry about that your mate's got this many likes or that's got this, because it's all shiny bollocks, right? You've seen that photo of the shiny apple in the camera lens, and there's a mirror behind it, and it's rotten. That's social media, right? How it looks is, because we get so many people come down here and go, oh, it's not like it looks on the videos. No, because it's staged. There is an element of it staged. The updates are supposed to give you a good idea of what's going on. But you know what I mean? I never show you the full bins at 2:30 on a Friday before we've tidied up or mopped up, or there's coolant running off one of their backs, and because there's a coolant hose come off and stuff like that. You're never shown that bit of it. So I don't know. That seems like a really miserable video for a Tuesday.
Well, realistic, one might say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. What do you think?
I think like I say, it depends what you're doing it for. It definitely works. The amount of people I've had say to me they've only come here because of the YouTube, or because they've seen us online. It definitely brings in business. So, but obviously that's hard to put a monetary value against.
Yeah.
You could have made an absolute fortune from customers that were never going to come here if they hadn't seen us on YouTube.
Yeah.
We can't add that up.
Yeah. How did you hear about us?
But
Question.
then the problem, like you say, is if we suddenly have 10 times as much work, we can't do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It depends what you want, really. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to park it for the time being. What do you reckon?
Yeah, the man of realism just mic dropped us. I do struggle with it, because I think ultimately I think we have a laugh, don't we? We enjoy it.
Yeah.
But don't think people realise how much work goes into it. And then the other side of it is when people make comments going, oh yeah, you must be making a killing on YouTube. No. Unless you're doing 100,000 views a video, you ain't making money on YouTube. You got to be about that. Your subscribers give you your value, but then it all comes down to your RPM and your seat and all that sort of crap. But if you've got to pay to make your content, whether that's cameras, editors, videographers, and all that stuff, if you ain't doing 100,000 views a video, you're paying. It's costing you money. Yeah, because you might get 100,000 views one video, and then the next video you're getting 3, 4, 5, 6,000, and that's where we are. We sort of float between 10 and 20,000 views a video, really, don't we?
Pretty much.
And it costs me money.
So tell your mates, watch
videos.
Watch more videos.
Yeah, and that's it. Maybe it's knowing what we go around in circles of it, don't we? It's knowing what to do, because what me and you want to do. Well, look at Skyline. We were like that. That will go off dead. Supercar, working on supercars, that'll go off. No. RSQ3s, innit? When we've done normal sort of stuff.
I think you should stick with it personally. I think you've almost done the hard bit, getting from 0 to tens of thousands. And I think if you just keep pushing, one day you'll get a video that just hits, and then it just grows exponentially, don't it? I think once you get to 100,000 or somewhere around that, it just starts to snowball.
It's self-perpetuating. Yeah. And that's what, at the minute, why it almost, maybe that's it. Maybe that's because at the minute it seems very scattergun approach. Me and you are trying lots and lots of different things, is because we're looking for that one thing at the minute that kind of just goes and sets it going. It's very organic. The growth is very organic. It's just slow. And like I said, I'm not looking for it to be my retirement plan, but there has to be a point where I go, I can't keep spending money on this every month and getting no return. Or that's just the cost of doing business. That's my advertising budget, and you pay to advertise, and that's it. Because if I'm honest, if this is going to go on like it's going to go on, I'd rather just have an advertising 600 LT and put my name down the side of it. You know what I mean? And just drive around in a drive-in advert.
The thing is, like, if you do get to 100,000, then you should get to a point where you're making enough money that it covers everything you've put in.
Yeah.
It's just, there is a chance.
I'm still losing at the minute.
Yeah, there's a chance you never get to that point.
Yeah.
It's very, like, front-loaded, isn't it? You have to chuck a ton in and get nothing back. One day you might get tons back.
Oh, it's like...
but you might not.
And it's like all business, like how I started this place.
Yeah.
You know, but the business straight away paid its bills. Because if it doesn't pay its bills, you're out of business. Do you know what I mean? There might be a month where you're like, you got 5 cars backed up outside and you can't get everything out to pay all the bills. So you backload it. Like, I've had months where Christmas time, couldn't get any parts, couldn't get any cars out, everything went on a credit card. And then, like you said, you backfill that up. But you know the business can wipe its nose. You know, maybe that's bloody next week, I tell it, running the business. But this, like you said, if we're 3 years deep now front loading, at what point do I go, it's not even wiping its nose. It's not even covering its costs. You know, and me and you talk about going, well, we should be doing more, and we should. So how much do I ante up, or double down, or
and
whichever way?
If you give up now, are you willing to write off everything you've put in?
That's it. But is
essentially for nothing.
But that's then the question of how much does YouTube add value to my business? Because whereas I, like the others who are just YouTubers or can pay that have enough money in the bank that they don't need to worry about it, they can. I haven't. I got to worry about you guys. I got to worry about Kate and the kids. I got to worry about paying the bills here. This is a nicety, and this is where I worry about sometimes is, am I letting my ego drive this rather than if I called the, what is it, bloody Dragon's Den lot in here, they would look at that and go, well, you can fuck that off. Yeah. You get rid of that, you get rid of that, and do you know what I mean? As a business case, does this work? I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know. Were you going to say we should end it on that note and then we're going to carry on talking? Because we've done that like 3 times now. I don't know. It's not a rant this week. It's more of a whinge.
it's more of a philosophical kind of contemplation of where we are with things.
Yeah. We are literally going to do this now. Me and George talk about all the time, like especially when he's
There
like
he
when
is. Hello.
we went for a stage where like we would work nights late, and it's like if you're having to do that much work to stay still, Tesco's pay £20 an hour to stack shelves.
At the start, it was a joke.
Eh? Oh yeah. When we first moved in, when we first moved in here, and like everything I owned was in the space the size of the engine room. This was just empty, and I sat there the first week, and he came in and he went, "What's the matter with you?" And I was like, "I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills." I genuinely didn't know how I was going to pay the bills. And you make it work. But that's it. The business is doing well now, so it can absorb the cost of this. But at what point do I go? So let us know in the comments. And I'm going to go and drown my sorrows in a tea or something stronger.
Okay.
Thanks. No?
Would people perhaps like to subscribe?
Please subscribe.
Please watch the video and
Sympathy, yeah.
this has all been a waste of time.
Sympathy, subscribe. Sympathy, subscribe. I don't know. Maybe people out there think differently. Maybe people out there, like we had that one guy, didn't he? And he said he was stuck in hospital and all he watched was our video, 44T, stuff like that. So I get it. I do get it. I get that it adds value. There's channels I watch like without fail. I get it. But the needs of the, what is it? The needs of the few, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
There it is.
Yeah, something like that. It's a Spock thing. Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know. Let us know, mate. That just seems like a long old way of going. I'm not making any money on YouTube. What is wrong? I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I'm getting wrapped up in.
I nearly dropped the camera then.
Did you?
Been another lens knackered.
Quality.
All the profit's gone.
Yeah. Profit on this video's gone. Drop some comments below. Please like and subscribe. And I don't know. Let us know what you think. It is a big. I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I know. Honestly, innit?
Right.
But thanks for watching.
See you next time.
And I'll see you next time.
Maybe.